Uh, Today we will discuss the crashing bronchial asthma or near crashing bronchial asthma. So, how we will recognize once the patient comes in your emergency department having a tachypneic, is having even some time he is a silent chest, sweating, even it looks that patient is having difficulty in breathing. So, to recognize the life-saving or so life-threatening or near-fatal asthma, so how the patient will appear. So the patient mostly will be agitated, uptended, and he cannot complete his words. He will be dyspneic, and he is using the accessory muscles, and he can go even into the respiratory arrest. So once we attach this patient with the cardiac monitor, we will find that his heart rate could be more than 120. He is having respiratory rate is more than 30. Can be a bradycardic, and he is having bluish coloration, drowsiness due to hypoxia. So on physical examination, the patient can have a silent chest or biphasic wheeze. Immediately on bedside in such patients, it is very difficult to have the peak flow, but if could be done, it is almost less than 25%. And if we examine the patient, we will find that he is getting more worse clinically, and he is more fatigued and decreased loss of consciousness. So, how we will approach such a patients? So we should remember that BCA, breathing, circulation, and airway. So in breathing, we have to give by the oxygen by nasal pipe. So we should start immediately the inhaled bronchodilators, continue nebulized salbutamol up to 15 milligram per hour, and along with that apratropium up to 1.5 milligram per hour. Sometime, practically speaking, we can combine this salbutamol, commonly known as Ventolin, 500 milligram or 1 ml, along with Atrovent 500 microgram. After this, and it can be given back to back for 3 doses minimum. If it is patient is not relieving, so we should give. If patient cannot tolerate orally, then we can give the patient IV methylprednisolone 125 milligram, and then we can start magnesium sulfate 2 gram over 10 to 15 minutes, and we can repeat it 3 times. Some people prefer IV bolus before giving this magnesium sulfate because it causes the hypotension. So to avoid this risk of this insensible loss of fluid, so IV fluid or normal saline can be given before we start the magnesium sulfate. Then second options we are going to proceed is intramuscular or intravenous ephedrine. Intramuscular, when we are giving, should be given anterolateral aspect of the thigh, and dose ranges from 0.3 to 0.5 milligram, but better it should be given 0.6 milligram, and we can repeat this on 2 doses at least. But in some places, IV ephedrine is preferred over the intramuscular with the initial 5 microgram per minute, and titrate it by 1 to 15 microgram per minute to every 2 to 3 minutes, and dose range from 0 to 0.5 to 0.5 microgram per kg per minute, and down titrate as soon as patient is able.